Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our EIC ACCESS Plus Info Session webinar on supporting European healthcare companies. My name is Cristina Chumacero. I'm really happy to welcome you. I will be moderating this event. I can share now with you the agenda of today's meeting. We are going to start with a welcome words and introduction to EIC Business Acceleration Services. We will continue with a presentation of the EIC Service Catalogue, and we will introduce the EIC partners that have accepted to join to this webinar. Then we will continue with the presentation on the EIC ACCESS Plus co-funding scheme. We will end up this meeting with the application phase, how to apply for this grant. Without further delay, I would like to introduce Gisela Santos, Project Advisor at the European Innovation Council.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be in one more info session organized by our Access Plus team, this time dedicated to the health sector. So I work in the EIC department in the Business Acceleration Services, and this initiative today integrates the program of the ecosystem partnerships and also the upgraded co-funding scheme that we are now providing to our beneficiaries. These info sessions are very important because we really believe that they put in contact our awardees. So thank you very much for those present here today and for your availability, and also our EIC partners that are very much willing to present the services that they have available and that are really fitting into the needs, in this case, of the health sector. As you know, the health sector is an important portfolio of the EIC beneficiaries, and we believe that there is a strong need from our portfolio for all those that really can benefit this sector. So we are really pleased to welcome you all, beneficiaries and partners. Thank you also for those who will give you today tips and tricks on how to better use the services that they have available for you. I really hope that this dynamic helps to connect better the ecosystem, and also that you understand better, especially on the awardee side, how the program works, how the co-funding works. And for that, I thank very much the teams that are working on behalf of the EIC. That would be all. Cristina, thank you so much.
Thank you, Gisela, for your welcoming words. We will now continue with the presentation of the EIC Service Catalogue. Teodora Aibu, she will be happy to give you more insights and more valuable information.
Thank you, Cristina. Most of you already probably know what the EIC Service Catalogue is. To start off with the program. So this is, of course, an EIC funded initiative. It is the EIC Partnership Program is a member of the EIC BAS offers, and its goal is to bring together industry actors that provide business acceleration services to complement what is already offered by the EIC through the other BAS offers. So this would be, for instance, the EIC coaching program, tech to market program, soft landing program, and many different others that they have, over 10 of them at the moment. And all of this is done through the, let's say, one-stop shop that we have, which is the EIC Service Catalogue. It's an open access, of course. Beneficiaries can access it directly from the link that you see on the slide, or from the EIC community as well. So at the moment, we have around 230 plus partners. This is increasing on a monthly basis. And we have over 500 services, and these services are categorized into 11 categories. So on the typology of the service, so for example, we have services that are strictly for internationalization offers, some that are business planning, some are for support fundraising, and different other types. And of course, the services can be sector agnostic or sector specific. So some of them are, as you as you will hear from the partners we have here, are specifically for the health or biotech or medtech sectors. It is very important to note that this is exclusively for EIC beneficiaries and Seal of Excellence holders. It will be good for you to take a look at the EIC beneficiary brief. This is a short guide book, let's say, that we have prepared for you to help you navigate through the catalog, but also help you or guide you on the application for the co-financing. In terms of interaction, so we have what we call the Ask Me Anything webinars, very similar to this info session that we are having right now, but they are more targeted to beneficiaries where partners and pitch their services. They are usually thematic, so per category, for instance, only internationalization services or sector specific for health or for industry. And you can also find the partners in the EIC community with their own label called EIC Partners. The brief that I mentioned in the previous slide is on the screen, so you can find it on the catalog, of course, for free. Please do go to the catalog, browse through. If you need support, especially technically speaking, do not hesitate to reach out to us. And that is all from me, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Theodora. So we will continue with partners that are accepted to join us. Without further delay, I want to introduce Pawel Zielinski, Head of Marketing at Consonance.
Thank you very much, Maria. I'm pleased to be here. So good afternoon, everyone. Even the most visionary teams struggle with fragmented development processes, engineering processes. Hardware here, software there, regulatory expertise somewhere else. So it means, in the end, this is all slow, risky, and expensive. And it is especially as this is touching startups relying on grant programs, this fragmentation can be fatal for both timelines and budgets. So why we are here today? To help with such cases, this fragmentation, we established Consonance over 10 years ago with a rather short recipe, a one-stop partner for medical device development focused on startups. Some numbers, more than 50 clients already and 100 plus medtech projects delivered. And yet we are considerably small and agile team, so we understand startup struggle. Once we were a startup as well. In 2025, we partnered with the European Innovation Council and joined the Access Plus framework to help beneficiaries and Seal of Excellence with translating groundbreaking medtech ideas into market-ready medical products. What you are seeing is just a sample of delivered medical products. From the top left, remote CTG, a tool for postpartum diagnosis with no reference product globally, pain relief device, EEG device, successfully commercialized now in the Central Africa and Southeast Asia, diabetes device, and also rehabilitation device. Today, we have 3 ongoing projects for the EIC beneficiaries from Denmark, Spain, and Portugal within the EIC programs and lately the Access Plus funding scheme. We partnered startups on various levels of product development maturity, from early stage concepts to almost ready devices, which actually required final touches and transferring to manufacturing. We are very proud actually to share strong and positive feedback from our clients regarding service catalog. You can find us there by 3 sets of services: medical device engineering, medical device manufacturing, and also medical device prototyping. All of them actually apply to almost all the EIC programs. Starting from feasibility study, hardware prototyping, software development, electronic and mechanical engineering, certification and regulatory support, manufacturing and logistics, all under one roof, fully integrated within a single workflow efficiently, predictably, and with a real control over a budget. And what's more important, over a decision-making process without any hassle. The scope ranges from, our scope ranges from connected diagnostics, wearables, rehabilitation devices, AI-powered tools to IVD, and innovations on the borders of known definitions. We undertook projects with risk classes 1, 2A, 2B, and also a single project in class 3rd. The whole set of services allows our clients actually to make sure the most of their resources. I kindly invite you to collaboration with us, as we do have already experience with Access Plus and also collaboration with EIC beneficiaries. Thank you very much for your time and your attention.
Thank you very much, Pawel. We will continue now with Medace space with Kurt Gielen, Chief Business Officer, and Martin Schellers, CTO at Revision Implant.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Kurt Gielen, Chief Business Officer at Medace. We call ourselves an accessible clinical development and manufacturing hub, specifically focused for startups. Now, the reason why we started Medace is that we realized that in order to develop and do initial manufacturing for medical devices or medicinal products, you require a huge amount of funding, which for a large extent goes into the correct facilities, especially if you're working on implants or medicinal products which require clean room facilities to do the clinical manufacturing. That brings with it a high cost of facility and equipment ownership, because acquiring it is one thing, but maintaining it to the right level of quality is also a huge burden. And next to that, you obviously have the knowledge, whether it's regulatory, operational, quality, finding the right skilled personnel is a true challenge in these fields. So we're a service provider with a quite unique concept where we offer facilities, whether it's the R&D labs or the clean room manufacturing facilities, next to the quality regulatory support. I'll show in the next slide that we do differ from a standard contract manufacturing organization. And one area is that we call ourselves a work learning environment, because we want the expertise that we build up in collaborating with our clients to completely land with our clients, so that they learn and expand their team and their knowledge, so that at a certain point they can become truly independent. Because we do understand that at a certain point you need to bring your own organization to a level where you have all the expertise and knowledge in-house. That also is reflected in the fact that technology doesn't get transferred to Medace, but it stays with our clients. Any new IP that's developed together is also initially owned by our clients. And also the required license and certificates that we offer are obtained or stay with the clients. It's a fee-for-service model. We don't take any shares in companies, again, because we learned that in next funding rounds, this might be more of a hurdle to overcome rather than an advantage to our clients. So this is, as I told you, a comparison between the options that are out there in the market. You can do everything yourself, which is the what you see on the right under DIY. Often that is a hurdle because startups have limited knowledge of what's actually required to set up clinical manufacturing. And as I already mentioned, the main roadblock there is the high burden and the high cost of equipment and facility ownership. The option on the left is outsourcing it to a contract manufacturing organization. Next to the loss of IP and technology that you hand over to an external partner, what we've seen is that at early stages, preclinical, moving into first in human, the processes and the production of the device or the medicinal product is yet not robust enough. So you have to go back and forth with your partner, where they heavily rely on the knowledge that you build up as a startup within your own lab or R&D facilities. And that kind of gives an additional cost, which quite often is not foreseen. So we took best of both worlds and said, okay, in close collaboration with our clients, we offer all the adjacent facilities, resources, knowledge that they don't have within their team, but gradually that they build up that knowledge themselves, so that at a certain point we kind of make them completely independent of what we have to offer. So we see that it's a much more sustainable model than outsourcing, because in the end of the ride, you have built up the knowledge, and if you need to do an update or an upgrade of your device or your product, or you want to start your next startup, you've actually acquired all that knowledge within the organization. So this is the facility that we currently operate in Maastricht in the south of the Netherlands. As I've mentioned, it's a combination of R&D labs and all the clean room facilities. Very flexible, available. I always say in theory, you can rent a clean room for a day and you can use our quality regulatory experts per hour. In practice, obviously, that's not always feasible, but we do understand that with tight budget from startups, we have to build in that flexibility in our model. So we started Medace in 2020, and despite the fact that the first 2 years of existence, we were in the global COVID crisis, we've worked with over 60 clients since we started. They come from all over Europe, from Switzerland to Sweden to the UK. And I've asked one of our clients, Maarten from Revision Implant, to join us today. So maybe for the last few minutes, Maarten, I can give you the word to tell a little bit about who you are and how we got connected.
Thank you, Kurt. So we're indeed one of the more recent clients, probably, of Medace. So we at Revision Implant, we're a Belgian neurotechnology company, startup. We're working on a visual prosthesis, which is basically a brain implant wirelessly connected to a pair of camera glasses that could offer artificial vision to blind people. And we're a beneficiary of the EIC project. We bought a Pathfinder and a transition grant. And so through these grants, we got also connected to the EIC ACCESS program. And we're currently a startup of about 7 people, 7 full-time employees. And like a lot of medtech, deep tech startups in the past years, we've mostly been working on developing our technology, testing our technology in animals and so on. But now that we're trying to transition into first clinical trials, we noticed that the expertise that we have as almost only engineers or clinical people is not sufficient, particularly on the quality and regulatory side. That's also how we got in touch with Medace. So we've mostly been working together with them until now on the quality and regulatory side. We might in the future also still be collaborating with them on the more clean room and lab side. But so far, the way it works is also a little bit how Kurt explained. So it's on an hourly basis, although we have a project of about 70 hours to start with, where they will help us develop our strategy on the quality and the regulatory side, and advise us in, should we apply for FDA, should we apply for breakthrough, should we go first for CE marking, and so on, and also how setting up clinical trials and everything there works. So the collaboration is still relatively recent, but so far everything is looking good, I would say.
Yeah, and I think if you look at the full trajectory that you guys have ahead of you, obviously the EIC ACCESS Plus won't cover it all, but it's good, as you say, to find a small starter project to really get things going, get the strategy set up, and give you guys the insights as to what else you all have to do after that initial step is done. So I think for that, as I also shared it with the EIC people, it's a really nice tool to get going, get started, get to know each other, with a nice subsidy from the EIC.
Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of the startups in this call will recognize the phase where we are in right now. If we would have unlimited money, we would, of course, hire people to work full-time on the quality and regulatory side. But the reality is that, of course, we don't have money to hire everybody that we want. So right now in our phase, this is the perfect solution indeed.
So I think that's also the end of my presentation. So I'd like to thank you again for the opportunity to present. And Maarten, thank you for joining.
Thank you very much, Maarten and Kurt. We continue now with Laura Siso, CEO of Bridge the Gap, and David Blanquez, CEO at MGN.
Thank you, Christina. Okay, well, Bridge the Gap is a hands-on consultancy firm. We are based in Barcelona. And then we help startups from the initial stages, leaving the lab until they enter the market. Then it fits with the startups that are in EIC transition, EIC accelerator status, more or less. Then we provide our services on business creation, market validation, and investment readiness. Today, our purpose is to present you our services on investment readiness properly. Then to talk a bit about our expertise, we have been involved also in the EIC Tech to Market program, in which we have been working also with several healthcare startups. We have clients from different 12 countries in Europe, and we have helped this startup and a spin-off to secure up to 20 million today. Well, our program or approach is based in 4 steps. First is about building a robust financial plan. The second step is to determine the financial needs over the time. Then with this information, we help you to build a compelling funding strategy. And finally, we help a startup to spin off to speak the proper investor's language. In the end, the objective is to help you to secure the funds you need to grow your business. Then let's talk about how to build a solid and sound financial plan. We are hands-on. Then our approach is to provide a tool that you will be able to use as your company will be growing. This is a structured tool based in 6 years with monthly granularity. And then with dedicated workshops, we help you and we train you on the basics of financial. Because most of you or some of you are scientific people, then you need to learn very fast the key concepts of our financials. Then we give you this knowledge in order you can prepare your investment loan. Then we work with you also in how to structure your sales forecast and your cost structure in a detailed way, depending on the different stages of the company. As a result, as we work with an automated tool, you obtain automatically your profit and loss, cash flow and balance sheet, as well as the key metrics the investors are looking for. We provide you also graphical images and figures that you can include in your pitch deck. With this organized information, it's very easy to understand what are the financial needs over time in a certain period of your company growth. And after doing this work, we help you to build your funding strategy. First, we help you on combining private capital and public funding in a comprehensive way, combining dilutive and non-dilutive funds. We help you to build your milestones that will give value, that will help to build value of your company in order the most of the control of the company keeps on the hands of the founders until your market entry. And finally, we help you on talk the investor's language. We help you to prepare your pitch deck and we train you in how to communicate. If you want to talk with investors, you need to understand their pain, their needs. It's not the same to talk with a business angel, which purposes invest their own money, than talk with a venture capital who aims to get a return of investment from the money of other people. We help you also to transform complex scientific ideas in key messages, persuasive messages. And also we train in answering the investors' questions that sometimes are challenging and complex. And finally, we train you on the non-verbal communication and to providing some message that will help you to convince the investors to bring you the capital you need. Well, this is basically the summary of our services in this packet. And I would like to introduce you MGN Neuro, that is a company working on epilepsy led by David Blanquez here, to whom we have been working together for several years. David, thank you for joining.
Thank you. Well, as Laura said, we are a company that was created 10 years ago. We have started predicting epileptic seizures, and now we are working also in Alzheimer and other diseases. But the main reason that we have been working for the last 6 years or 5 years with Laura is because we are a specialist in artificial intelligence, in technology. You will be a specialist with your startup in biology or in another systems, but what we are not used is to the financial needs. So there is something very helpful for us to have someone focused on these financial needs when you are focused in the day-to-day issues of the company. So in this case, the collaboration that we have had with Laura and with Bridge the Gap is very useful for us, because you know that there is someone fixed on the financial needs, because there is a lot of questions in these financial needs, and you can be providing only what you need, the forecast and everything. So there is a full Excel that is a little bit complicated at the beginning, but there is everything in this file. So when you have this file filled by Laura, by his colleague, it is very useful when you go to a contest, to investors, or when you have to answer something about the investors' questions. Because sometimes there are different questions about CAPES, indicators, KPIs that you don't know, and everything is in this file. Another question that is very useful, or has been very useful for us, is the presentation. We are talking about investors, we are talking about contests, you explain the project in front of different investors. It is very important to show what you want to show. And there is a colleague with Laura that is helping us in the presentation, how we explain the company, how we explain the money, how we explain the financials, and everything that we are doing is based on this code for the investor, that you have to explain everything in a good way. So it is something very interesting, not only for asking for financial, for products or public financial products, but also for private investors, or for small meetings that you have, and you have to talk between, I don't know, 6-10 investors. So it is very useful, these issues. It is something that is very helpful for the company, and also in our case, for me, that I am the CEO, and we have someone dedicated only to the financial part. Okay, thanks.
Thank you. By the way, we have here also our contact. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Laura and David. We will continue now with the presentation of Antti Heikkila, CEO and founding partner at Accelerate.
Thank you. So in Europe, we basically have lots of brilliant research breakthrough innovations, but too often they never arrive in the market. And Accelerate Venture Builder has been created to really increase the uptake of these innovations and then fast track Europe's most promising ventures. We see ourselves as co-founders and co-entrepreneurs as well. And we are working hands-on with a team who focuses on what really matters. So 2 things matters the most, at least in our box. And this is usually creating a solution to a market need, and then creating a long-term business story, which then gets the wheels running in the end. And in the core of our activities is naturally the resource acquisition, and we work with potential market clients and establish viable businesses. We are basically sector agnostic. We typically work with EIC Pathfinder, Transition and Accelerator clients. We have built 100 POC projects, carried out demonstrations and built investment relationships, and ran even an investment growth program with the help of the EIC. And here in this program, during only 1.5 years, we helped 30 companies to raise funds and close business deals for worth of 18 million euros. In EIC Access Plus, we are continuing to support the grantees on really the resource acquisition. And then also what is important is sales communication so that the clients understand what is being provided to them and then creating growth. And this is done very much hands-on. So we take responsibility of this communication and we go to the clients, potential clients, introduce the innovations and try to get the right feedback so that we get, for example, the right price point or we test the business model. Biosense is an organization who has an innovation in the cell-free DNA purification. And with the innovation, for example, chronic kidney disease could be detected much earlier, which basically can help save 50,000 euros per patient, which is then in a global scale in the billions mark. We have history with Biosense since the POC times and Pathfinder times. And at the moment, we are preparing a funding round for several millions. And we are basically also contacting clients to understand where the price point is and where we are actually creating the biggest value. Because it's not only this single disease, but we can find many others. But it takes lots of time and the market feedback really then reveals it. And we have 2 other Access Plus projects ongoing where finding the investor is the key as well as the sales communication. Our team has built R&I projects and businesses globally the last 25 years, and that's why our ecosystem is wide. We also have 40 plus global experts which are helping us to reach various parts of the globe so that we can get market feedback, find investors, and even find clients. We work also with key stakeholders, big names such as EBAN and EITs, and we also run EIT Urban Mobility Hub. Our team has an expertise which ranges from engineering to funding and ecosystems. And many of us have been entrepreneurs and worked in the European innovation ecosystem for a number of years. We are a Maltese company, but most of us are mobile. And that helps to cover not only Europe, but also USA and Latin America. And then as we have also the global experts, we can tap into various different specific sectors so that we can get very accurate feedback, for example, on the business models or find contacts through them. At A8, we enjoy finding the first use case for the innovation, design the business feasibility, and test how this hypothesis work. And we are happy to take a look how we can make your idea scale. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Antti. We will continue now with Sabine Runge, Market Service Manager at EIT Health.
Thanks, Christina. I'm Sabine Runge. I'm the Market Access Service Manager at EIT Health. EIT Health is part of the European Institute for Technology and Innovation, one of the KICs focused on the health sector. We are a public-private EU body representing the largest life science consortium in the world, dedicated to supporting the translation of innovation to market to address Europe's health priorities. And while we cover different areas within the EIT Health organization, Europe-wide and also beyond Europe, today I'd like to focus on what we do at the EIT Health Accelerator, because I'm part of the Accelerator team, where we support startups on the journey using our expertise and extensive network to help you succeed. So here's just an overview of our members. Among our network of over 100 members, we count with world-leading organizations across business, research, academia, and healthcare delivery. As I said, across Europe, and also establishing partnerships beyond Europe. And we'd be happy also to help you connecting with our members and facilitating market access and market adoption. Here's an overview of our accelerator services that we are offering in the EIC Service Catalogue, where we aim to support European startups to bring your ideas to the market. First of all, we are supporting you with access to finance service. So we offer assistance with accessing funding opportunities, including the preparation for investor pitches and also the connection to potential investors. And this in the 3 different domains covering biotech, medtech, and digital health to really make sure we find the right investor matching your needs. We cover the market access services. We offer market discovery and validation to provide you with a tailored analysis of the healthcare landscapes in the different EU markets, to run competitor insights, customer segmentation, look at the value proposition, and to really meet the specific market needs. And of course, we also support you with regulatory and reimbursement strategy across the different EU markets, optimizing the reimbursement pathways to ensure regulatory compliance and to facilitate stakeholder engagement with our local experts. In case of the internationalization services, I can say that we've supported over 200 companies since 2018. All those services are usually addressing startups from TRL 6 onwards. This is an example of a French deep tech healthcare startup, which was founded in 2017, developing digital solutions combining AI, cardiac images, and electrocardiograms to deliver a digital twin of the patient's heart to facilitate clinical decisions for cardiologists. So this startup joined EIT Health for the first time in 2017 for our Head Start program. They then joined our Catapult program back in 2019. In 2020, they were supported in through our Market Access Initiative. In 2021, they applied for the EIC Fast Track. 2023, they were supported by our EIT Health Access to Finance team for fundraising. And in 2024, they successfully raised 11 million euros. That's it from my side.
Excellent, Sabine. Thank you very much. Let's continue with the last presentation. Leonardo Casado will present ClarkeModet activities.
Thank you very much for the invitation. And in this presentation, I would like to explain our value proposition for those healthcare startups and scale-ups supported by EIC within their scalability and market uptake journey. Well, ClarkeModet is an international benchmark firm which headquarters are located in Spain and a solid presence in Latin markets. We count on operational presence in 30 countries, and we are almost 600 employees around the world. Most of our clients consider our company as a strategic partner because we can help them in the creation of tailor-made IP protection and exploitation strategies and the implementation of solid regulatory roadmaps that guarantee a proper market deployment of products and services based on medical devices or medicines mainly. We count on the vast experience in European projects. We worked from FP7 until Horizon Europe. And within EIC Service Catalogue, we structure our services in 3 main blocks. Okay, here you can see the distribution in this slide. Starting from the IP and Knowledge Advanced Consulting, we help our clients in the creation of advanced IP management and exploitation strategies, in the development of IP due diligence analysis, especially relevant when we talk about private investment processes and this kind of approaches, for instance. Also, we offer technology analysis and surveillance services. This is quite important, especially when we talk about EIC transition steps. IP and know-how protection. Here we help our companies to include within the IP strategies trade secret protocols in combination with the creation of proof of evidence using blockchain technologies, for instance. Also, we work in the field of technology transfer to the market. And here in all of the EIC projects, are mandatory, the FTOs, for instance, and it is quite important the evaluation of the IP assets, especially when the startups are facing to reach licensing contracts, royalty-based contracts, and so on. This is quite important to have a good valuation of this. In all of these steps, we support from the IP knowledge management side, and also we offer coaching and legal consultancy service. In the second block, we are talking about regulatory development consultancy. And here we can help in the product regulatory classification, especially for medicines and medical devices, in the creation of regulatory roadmaps up to clinical studies for medicines and up to CE marking, for instance, in the intermediation with regulatory authorities to obtain feedback, in the creation of expert reports on specific contexts, in the supporting regulatory procedures, and also we complement this kind of services with coaching and mentoring in this field that is quite specialized. And lastly, we are talking about the offering the services of data governance and consultant. In this sense, we reinforce the asset management and control. It means defining clear policies and standards that enable data to be managed and as strategic assets in your companies, the strategic compliance and legal protection, paying a special emphasis to promoting design by design and by design data protection practices, the active enterprise risk mitigation processes, focus on minimizing the risk of data misuse, loss of corruption, optimizing the responsible use and access information. And in this kind of services, also we support our clients in training sessions and coaching services. So fortunately, we can assert that we have supported a wide portfolio of benchmark startups in the healthcare sector supported by EIC. I would like to emphasize the case of Viva in Vitro, because we help them in IP regulatory and data governance. We can say we are lucky to be able to contribute from the first step to the growth of their promising business project funded by EIC. Okay, and other examples are Eindhoven or Kriva, where our support was mainly focused on reinforcing the IP strategies of both companies. Thanks for the invitations. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you very much, Leonardo. So now we will continue with the presentation of EIC ACCESS Plus co-finance scheme. My colleague Antonio Sangrilli, EIC ACCESS Plus project manager. Antonio.
A lot of you already knows ACCESS Plus project, since I noticed that there are some service provider before, like Accelerate and Consonance. We supported some beneficiaries that use their services. I'm very happy to have them here and to know that they have already working with ACCESS Plus. So we'd like to reinforce the collaboration with other service provider, or even to involve to stimulate the participant here, this info session, the beneficiary of info session, to use the support we are providing with ACCESS Plus. So ACCESS Plus is a project, is an EIC project, funded project, and what basically we do is to provide some financial support to those beneficiaries that would like to access to the service catalog, to the catalog of services. So what we can do is just provide these beneficiaries, these beneficiaries that I introduced the name of the beneficiaries. They see awardees, project participant, or Seal of Excellence holders. So we support these categories of organization to get to have benefits in terms of money. So we support them, just reducing the cost they have to support when access to the service catalog, to the catalog, the services within the catalog, and so we provide them with a grant. So our target our ambition is to fund, let's say, at least 180 firms, beneficiaries and firms, and each of them can get from us up to 60,000 euros for accessing to the service within the catalogs. What kind of organization we are addressing? So for us, the most important things is to address the beneficiaries here. What are the beneficiaries? Beneficiaries are those organizations that already or have been participating in the EIC projects like EIC Pathfinder, EIC Transition, and Accelerator project. And even so we consider eligible for our measure, or even those projects approved under the EIC pilot to 2018 and 2020. But also we extend our support to the Seal of Excellence holders. So those projects that have been assessed very good from them within the different call, the EIC call, but unfortunately they didn't receive any funding support since there is no funds to support all the good selected proposals. But the third category we also support is the spin-off, the spin-offs. The spin-offs generated within this project. So if there is a project and we have a case, if we have funded a case in our Access Plus project, the spin-off generated within an accelerator project, and they applied, and then so they receive our support to access the services within the catalog. So who is entitled to participate? So any project partner can apply. So both, so of course we are receiving a lot of application from the coordinator of project, but also the partners can apply. So all the partnership of the project, the different organizations forming the partnership in the project can apply. And this is very important to stress this point, that every organization within a project can apply. The second important message I would like to send you is that our beneficiary organization could be universities, and we have universities that apply to us, and one of them receive our support. We have public and private research organization. Then the majority of the application we have got up from SMEs, so for small and medium enterprises are participating in mostly in transition, pathfinder, and accelerator and Seal of Excellence project. So all these organizations can apply. So the most important, they are working in this project, and they have carried out technical and R&D activities within these projects. What we do for our beneficiaries? So we provide them with a financial support. The financial support is a grant that can cover up to 50% of the costs they have to pay to the service provider when they are negotiating, when they are accessing to a service within the service catalog. So we have two thresholds. The first one is we cannot pay more than 50% of the cost, but also our threshold is also that we have a limit with in terms of money. So we can just pay up to 60,000 euros. So these are the two thresholds. Of course, the 60,000 euros can be used by the beneficiaries for one or more applications. In case of the services, the cost of the service will allow them to have not to spend all the limit, the threshold we have for them, so they can apply for different services. Other important things is that they have to apply for one or more services within the service catalog. So they have to select the services within from a partner in the catalog, and these services for our internal purposes have been grouped in 4 packages. When they are applying and they are sending us the application, they are filling out the applications. So they have 4 different packages where to select the services. So the services we support are those services in the service catalog. But for internal purposes, we group these services in 4 service packaging, 4 main groups. For each groups we have a threshold in terms of grant. For instance, for those services called within the research package, and there are 2 main services here, the access to the infrastructure and the prototype services, we can pay these services the maximum up to the 60,000 euro in terms of grant. For the other services, the threshold is lower. For instance, for business acceleration services, and here we have typical acceleration services, business planning services, matchmaking services, and also internationalization services, we pay a grant up to 30,000 euros. And for the other services, the same as for access to fund services like IP and legal services, due diligence services, and support fundraising services. But and the limit is lower for the skill improvement services, where we have the last 2 services mentioned in the catalog that are in the category of coaching and mentoring and the human research and talent services. So the service package for us very important, since they say up to which could be the maximum amount of grant that we can pay for our services. So for the service they are applying to. To answer some questions we receive when the beneficiaries apply. So the first question, okay, if I have received the 50% of the grant, how can I cover the other part of the cost? So there are two main ways to cover let's say the uncovered cost by Access Plus. The first one, of course, the beneficiary should use its own funds, internal funds, or maybe they can record to external funds like external investors. They can provide the money to support or to pay the overall cost of the service provider. The other ways to cover this cost is to use public funds. So our measure, Access Plus measure, can be combined with other and paired with other public funds that could be regional, national, or even European funds. So in case of, let's say, Access Plus pay you 50% of the cost, the other 50% could be paid, for instance, for regional incentives or national incentives, or even other European projects that can provide you the money for covering the rest of the costs paid to the service provider. So when we receive the application, we are very fast in the assessment. Within 15 days after the application, we are able to provide you with an answer if the applications be approved or we need to improve your application. We provide you all the information you need to improve the application, to include information. The information could be not listed very well, or your service is not described very well. So we provide you a full support to fill in a very good application to be positively assessed by our team. I suggest you, when you go to the funding page, to download the call, to read very carefully what is written in the call, and then you can apply every day until the May 2026. So the call will be open for the next year until to May 2026, when the call will be closed. As I said before, when we receive the application, we select the application using these criteria. First of all, we evaluate the beneficiaries, who they are. So the beneficiaries, that the applicants should be beneficiaries, as I told before, should be partners in Seal of Excellence project, or accelerator, transition, pathfinder project, or even spin-offs generated within this project. And then is another important things that we evaluate is the service delivered. So we ask that the services will be not very long periods for be delivered. We expect 6 months, no more, even though for some services we understand, for instance, for prototyping services or access to infrastructure services, they will need more time. But let's say all the service should be concluded within June 2026. And services that will be concluded later will not consider in the application form. And then the service provider is very important. Things that should be one of the organization that is present in the catalog. Okay, this is the last main, I think, but most important main, the payments. So we pay the grant in two ways. We can pay in one installment or in two installments. When the grant is equal or below to 10,000 euro. In case of the grant we have to pay is this within this threshold, so we pay the grant in one installment, and the grant will be paid at the end after the service conclusion. So we ask to the beneficiaries to conclude the services, and then we pay the grant. If the grant is above 10,000 euro, in this case we pay in two installments. 50% will be paid as pre-financing after the grant agreement signature with the Access Plus team, and then the rest of the grant will be paid after the service conclusion. Before making the final payment or after the service conclusion, we ask the beneficiaries who receive the grants to fill in a service quality questionnaire survey that is will be submitted by us to the beneficiaries, and after receiving this questionnaire, we will proceed to to make the final payment. Yes, this is the last slide. So you can see me there, Antonio Zangrilli, and my colleague Maglar Fopokamp that they support me in the coordination of the project. Of course, there are also the other partners involved in the Access Plus that we work with us, with a team of 5 partners of the European organization. But if you would like to get in contact with us, you can use our info email, info.eicaccessplus.eu.
Thank you very much, Antonio. We will now continue with the application procedure. So my name is Cristina Zumacero. I'm a senior project manager at BPI France Equity, and we are supporting the deployment of this EIC ACCESS Plus co-finance scheme. So I want to quickly remind you that the EIC ACCESS Plus co-funding is addressed to EIC beneficiaries from the Pathfinder Transition and Accelerator programs, and also from the EIC pilot phase and Horizon Europe only. Also, Seal of Excellence holders under Horizon Europe, they can also receive this grant. The first step is to identify the partner on the EIC Service Catalogue. As my colleague showed you, there are a lot of filters there, and according to your situation, on your industry, on your technology readiness level, you can identify the right one. Once it's done, you will need to click on the page of the service, and you have 2 buttons. One, to contact the service provider, and at this stage you need to ask more information about the service. You will need to ask a timeline, cost, and we suggest to have a first MOU of this contract that you will have between the partner and you. Once you have identified this right partner and you agree with the terms, you can ask for this EIC ACCESS Plus co-funding. If you click, you will be addressed to the EIC ACCESS Plus website, and you need to click on funding to read carefully all the guidelines that we have prepared for you, and to make sure that you include all the information that are requested. So once you click and you will see the apply button, you will be led to the Euroquities BPI France platform that is supporting in the deployment of EIC ACCESS Plus. If you have an account already, you need to log in and you will be part of the EIC ACCESS Plus Community Hub. Otherwise, if you do not have an account, you will need to create it. It will take a little bit more time, but this is simply a checkpoint just to make sure that you are eligible for this grant. If you need to create an account, it will be very quickly. So you have the possibility to join an existing organization already on Euroquity, or create your own organization. So company, or if you are an EIC partner, you can also create it as well and select the services that you want to highlight. For companies, very quickly, you need to fill out some information related to the company's sectors in the markets that you're looking for. Once you have been accepted, you will be part of this community and you will receive our latest news, updates, opportunities to join events, and you will have the possibility to apply. There is already a button that you can, once you have been, you are part of the community, you will see, and you will be able to apply directly to the form, and then you will be addressed to our form with all the information that we require. So once submitted, you will see that you need to fill out an agreement to receive the funding. Every Friday we have around 1 week to assess every application. You will need to also download the declaration of honors that you can find on the data room of the EIC ACCESS Plus Community Hub, and also all the documents are of course published on our website of EIC ACCESS Plus website. If you are not part of the Community Hub, please join it to continue receiving our updates. If you encounter any technical issues, you can reach out to this email. Thank you very much. Now it's time for questions. I understand that grant covers cost of cooperation with entities from your service catalog.
Yes, we just support only the services coming from the service catalog. So we cannot support any services from a different organization not listed in the catalog. So the two conditions, very important conditions, are first of all that the service provider should be one within the service catalog. The second condition is that the service, of course, should be listed in the service catalog.
Thank you, Cristina. Thank you, Antonio, and to all the speakers today. So thank you to all, and looking forward to hear about any partnerships that can result from this session or future sessions. Have a nice afternoon, everyone.
Thank you, Gisela. Thank you. Have a
Bye-bye.
nice afternoon.
Thank you.
You too.
Bye.
You too.
Bye-bye.